Hello, everyone. I just had a little bit of challenge here trying to get on. The program didn't want to let me in. All right, so we are here, and today we are celebrating thinking about what is our wellness plan and how might you be adjusting things so that maybe you're not sabotaging what you're doing, or you're just not even really aware. It's not that you're sabotaging, you're just not really aware of how you could be adding more wellness into your day and all of the things that you do. So I do that daily, trying to make sure I engage everything I possibly can and maximize the amount of energy I have in my day, but also the amount of energy I share with everybody else. One of the ways I do that is by reaching out. So if you saw the poster for today's event, that is one to launch the National BioEnergetic Wellness Month, which starts November 1st. So I'm just getting a little jump start on getting our thoughts in process here of what we're going to do about that. And one of the things is to reach out. And so I know for me, all of the emails I send, all of the Facebook messages, all the ways that I get to connect with people outside of my house help me to stay stronger and more vibrant. So how might you be doing that? And it might be within the people just in your household. There's only two of us here, so it's a lot more fun to reach out. Okay, so let's get started with Tai Chi because that's another way to reach out. And I'm just going to talk about how you can build community with your Tai Chi. So when we're building community online, I have already set the intention. I'm just going to adjust this so I can step back. I've already set the intention that I am going to be energy building, that I'm going to be reaching a community, and I might reach only a few of you at this time, but the video from last week went crazy. It went all over the place. So the energy that was collectively built at the beginning was already bringing in the community to come in and join in. And so I always think of it in those terms of how might the energy of that community be able to grow. So for those that you have joined in, welcome, glad to see you. And I'm so happy that you're here. I come every Friday at 12 o'clock Atlantic, which I know is early out in the Pacific Coast because you're looking at 8 a.m. And if you have had breakfast and your glass of water, then you can join in now. And for those of us reaching lunchtime, this is a great way to energize for the afternoon. So that way, when you get to that 3 o'clock time frame where you might be losing some energy, maybe we will have shifted a tiny little piece of your life that doesn't happen. So one of the things is make sure you have a glass of water. Make sure you're hydrated. The muscles cannot function without hydration, and neither can the brain. And what we're doing in Tai Chi is connecting brain and body. Okay, so let's get some wellness going. We have been playing with the first 17 moves for the last month or so. And this is the opportunity for you to wake up energetically everything that's going on in the body. So I have done the seated version as well as the standing version, and you can easily go to YouTube and check out the videos that have been recorded from that time frame. And what we're going to do now is we're going to dive in a little bit more. So I have Oria on mine. So I take it I've got all the Gillises. So hello, and thank you for joining in from Marguerite Forks. I am so missing Belle Cote and Marguerite and the people from Shedda Camp that were coming down. I really do miss you. So thanks for tuning in and being a part of this. So let's do the 17 moves standing. And I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to move. If you are watching and you don't know what the moves are, maybe you want to just stand with your feet shoulder width apart and just really connect to the floor and just deep breathe while we're doing the movements. And then you can relax into them and gain some of the energy that we're going to share. I'm seeing that you have more of my roof than you need. You're going to need a little bit more to be able to see my feet. Okay, so let's start with a bow. So the hands are coming up. Connect right hand to the left thumb, and we have a bow forward. And then let that go. Come back up and sink. One of the delights about the first 17 is just that ability to deep breathe. There's our commencement. Right foot's going to turn and reach out. Hold the ball. Left grab grasp bird's tail, hold the ball, grasp bird's tail. Bow and arrow comes back. Palm to palm is forward. Open the hands. Two hands out. That's coming back. Turn, whip to one side, and reach out. And that goes into step up to raise hands. Put your right heel out, sink. Foot, hand, glide across. White stork spreads wings, right hand up to the top. Open the hand, and then brush knee left. Half a step, heel goes out, sink. Opening the hands, brush knee left, twist step, brush knee right. I'm going to go right into my chandelier. Twist step, brush knee left, underneath the chandelier. Okay, come back. Half a step, love my dining room. From the paper. Open, brush knee. Twist step, hold the flowers. Step patois, in, out. Wipe the sleeve, and punch. Bow and arrow comes back, two hands forward, hands are coming up, sink. Over to the left, and let that go. Okay. So you can probably feel the energy already shift, and I'm hoping, I'm hoping all of you are noticing that. It was like the energy was kind of up here, which is kind of like frazzled energy, and it just kind of went. One of the things about wellness is when you just take a few moments to let the energy condense and come together. Okay, so not to get compacted, but just come together, everything is going to flow in the right direction. When you're like this, that's how action is. You go here, you go there, you go this, you go that, and you got all these things on the go, and you just can't seem to quite pull it together, and you need to pull it in. So in the publicity for wellness, they usually talk about mindfulness, and mindfulness is exactly that. Center, focus, ground, bring everything down into the feet, connect to the earth, deep breathe. Let that air come in. Okay, so let's start again. I'm going to move a little bit slower. I'm going to turn though. So for those people learning the set, so your commencement. Nice big breath in. And then let that go and then sink. And then you're going to turn to the right and open the right hand. Let the back heel go so your hips can turn right to your right side. Hold the ball. Left grasp bird's tail. Hold the ball. Grasp bird's tail. This is a bow and arrow back. Palm to palm. Open the hands. Two hands out. Coming back around. Whip to one side. And then reach out. So now you're going to sink back into the right. Over. Heel goes out. Sink. Foot. Hand. Glide. White stork spreads wings. Let that come down. Brush knee left. Now, nice big breath in. And then just let that sink down through the feet. Open the hands. Brush knee left. Twist step. Brush knee right. Twist step. Brush knee left. I'm just going to slide back or I'll be too close to the camera. Half a step. Here goes that big breath again. Heel goes out. Sink. Brush knee left. Hold the flowers to the left. Step patois. lunge. Wait, come back. 2 hands. Comes up and around. Turn, turn, sink. Crossing over. And let that go. Sink. Okay. I'm hoping you're feeling just a little bit more of that. I see more people have come on board, so welcome. Glad you're here. We've done 17 moves from the Tai Chi set. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how easily we can change something. So already we calmed our breath. We noticed that. We were able to center and ground. So that's our mindfulness. That's bringing everything in, collecting ourselves to really go forward the way we want and not scattered. Okay, so let's move from that idea to how quickly we can change our body. Now I'm going to do this in a non-Tai Chi way because this is just really cool to show you how it works, and then I'll show you how it works within the set, okay? So what I want you to do is just notice now what it would feel like to go down to do the bow, as an example. So if we bring the hands in, you go forward, notice what the hamstrings feel like. Notice your feet. Notice what your back feels like, maybe your head. How much flexibility or how much tension is there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a chair. And you could do it standing, but I'm just going to show you seated. Grabbing onto one leg. And what I want you to do is just give it a shake. Really relax your foot so it can flop on the end. And just let that shake there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now just put that down on the floor. And then take the other one, give it a shake. Okay, and then put down the floor. All right, now what I want you to do is take your hands, put them into the base of your head here, the back of the skull. And what I want you to do is just drop your chin down and push your head up into your hands, just with a little bit of pressure. Up into the hands, and just give that a nice hold. Okay, so we've done 2 things. Shook the foot, pushed up in the back of the head. Now what I want you to do is do that bow again. See what it feels like. If I come back here. And back up. Right. Okay. So I'm just noticing I'm being interrupted a lot. Okay. Aurea, I'm sorry. I don't know. Sometimes it's my end, sometimes it's the receiver's end. I'm not sure, but thanks for the feedback. I am going to try to do some Zoom to Facebook lives and some Instagrams. Going to start to play around with that a little bit, and I'm hoping that will help. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that what you noticed by opening up the ankle joint and opening up at the base of the skull, all of a sudden your tissue, you were able to go down easier. Maybe your hamstrings felt a little bit better. Maybe your back wasn't as tight. We didn't measure neck, but you could have. It's probably a little bit looser. Just that tiny little action can reduce the amount of stress or tension that you're holding in the tissue. That's it. So in a wellness model, you just need a couple of minutes to shift. Now, if you start to get back into that list of I got to get this all done, I got to get this all done, and you move yourself back into tension, can't help you there. But what Tai Chi does do is provide you with the way to move so it is always relaxed. And that's important. Okay, so let's go to the first part of the Tai Chi set, and let's see where we have a connection with our foot and with the back of our head. So you can see how it's already within the movements of the Tai Chi set. All right, so you had your commencement. Sorry, you're not going to be able to see my feet. Let me just come back a little bit. Okay. So push down into the feet. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to open the space of the ankle joints and the wrists. shoulders, hips, knees. You may notice how that just all of a sudden changed just because we brought our intention there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just easily shift around, and the back heel just completely lets go, slide. Okay. Wasn't very much movement, but there was this, for me, what I'm experiencing, for all the people who are going to be watching, there was this air that just kind of came in and filled up all the joints because we're talking about them. Okay, so now let's think about the back of the skull and about the posture, about the length that you can gain in your body just by putting a little bit of space in there. So we'll go back to your commencement. Next, a little taller, just because we brought the idea in, and the joints, everything's opened up, sink. Now turning to the right and expand. Expand, expand, expand. Okay. Now let's take that a little bit further. So you've got a lift and a sink. And as you go to lift your foot up, just think about that relaxation that you felt when you were shaking the foot. Hold the ball. And now think about the same thing, that relaxation. And this comes through. Fingertip, bow and arrow, palm to palm, open, two hands. Okay, now think about the relaxation in the joints as you come around here, whip to one side, all the space, sink, and let that come through. Okay, so if you don't know the set, you might have a little bit of tension trying to follow me. But what I want you to do is just really relax. So when we go to come back to turn, right here, the hands have gone out, the elbows drop, the wrists release. Everything is so nice and gentle. Everything just moves with fluidity and openness. It's not that you have to look like a dancer. It's just what you're looking for is that space within the joints to just open up. And as soon as it does, there's a gentleness that comes into the movement. That's what you're looking for. Now you are going to close your fingertips here. So you're making that cone that comes together. But from that, right in here, there's a sit. Opens the joints up again. And this is going to open the joints again. So really, really gentle. If we look at the legs, we shift a little bit to the left to turn to the right. And if you think about, I'm going to turn the right foot, because that's going to take the foot in the joint to the leg, and it's going to do this, which is a closed action. But we want an open action. So what we're going to do with that leg is we're going to turn the whole leg and open the whole leg up, and then let it come through. Now you have space in the joint. You have the ankle, the knee, the hip, and as you turn the whole leg, there's a space that's going to open up in the pelvis, and then it's going to realign itself. Everything opening. Okay, so let's just try that again. You're looking for the space. Here goes. Nice, deep breath. And then let that sink. Let it relax. It's going into the left. And now here's your whole leg opens. You can feel that into your left hip when your right leg is opening. And then you can feel as the left leg spirals, you can feel that closing that happens within the pelvis, but there's an open in the back. And then there's this beautiful open that comes through on the other side as you go into left grasp bird's tail. Okay, so now if you were to go down to touch your toes, just try that action again. Notice what the tissue feels like. Like, oh, everything just wanted to just go, what do we want to call that? Like goop, just like this. Just nice and supple and movable, pliable. That's the word I'm looking for, pliable. All right, that is a quality that allows you to live with less stress or tension within the body. Nice deep breaths, flow of energy, everything can come through. Okay, so if you're finding you're a little bit stressed, you can just let it go. That easy little shake, right, gets you started. Pushing up through the back of the head, lengthening up the back of the head. You probably feel this in your upper back. And you've got everything engaged, ready to go. When I did this in class yesterday, people noticed there was like a buzz, and it was like it went up the body like this, and just up and out. So the buzz wasn't like scattered around, it was actually connected and coming through. Okay, let's work on, after the first 17 moves, because we've spent time there, let's go to carry the tiger to the mountain and whip out diagonal. And today I'm going to talk about that opening that comes through the hips as we come through that movement, and then the gentle sweeping that's going to go through the spine when we do that action. Okay, so I'm not sure the best way to face here. We would have finished facing to the left. So if you are my friend, facing to the left, and we would have come around to face the front. And I'm just going to use this because it's perfect. You go out like this with your hands, back into your right leg. Now move your whole left side. And as you do that, you're not lifting your hands up, but you're expanding your back. So it makes it look like you're lifting your hands. But what I actually am doing is I sink back, and right here, the whole leg turns inside, and the whole leg turns, sink. There's your space, crossing over to the left, and then plant your foot. This creates space now to line the joints up. That's where we would have finished. I'm just going to move over. So you have line everything up, sink. And now your whole left side is going to turn, and you are going to step to your back right corner. And there's this beautiful opening through the hip into a brush knee. Open the space in between the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Turn to go palm to palm. Open the hands. Two hands are going to go out. And then this is going to come back and turn the whole leg. Okay, so that little action is repetitive, but I'm hoping you can just feel that openness that you're creating back and forth. So let's try it again. So you're facing to your left, push your hands out, sink back into the right, turn the whole left side, line everything up right, sink. Cross and open, just the foot. So your weight goes into the right, spiral. Open the spine, place the foot, brush knee. Bow and arrow. Palm to palm. Open. Two hands. Sinks back. Okay, so now we're going to carry on from there. Whole right side comes in, goes up on the right. Sink down on the right. Step open with the left. Comes across. Step open with the right to push out. Okay, there's a lot going there if you're trying to watch me and it's trying to go opposite. So I'm going to sit myself down and just do the arms with you. And this is going to give you the opportunity to expand just a little bit what's happening through the joints coming through the shoulder, ribs, diaphragm, and pelvis. Okay, So you had finished bow and arrow, palm to palm, two hands. So it would have been two hands went out, and then you would have turned around. The hands would have turned, and here, as you change the palms to go up, the lower back can relax. The hands come through, and then you roll them again to make your T. Elbow is going to drop, and you're going to spiral all the way through the spine, and then all the way through the spine, and then forward. Okay, so let's do that again. It's such a nice, gentle move. Okay, so you have two hands push out. Pushing into the feet brings you back. The palms change. You can notice through the pelvis how the pelvis changes and releases. Comes up. Hands roll to make the T. Sink. That's a spiral one way. Push into the left foot will spiral you back, and then falling forward into the feet. Okay, one more time. Now you're thinking about the space in between the joints. You remember that wrist, right? The wrist is the same as the ankle. The wrist is also the same as the neck. You have the opportunity to completely transform what the neck is doing. Okay, so two hands are coming out. Push into the feet. Comes all the way through. Bring that around. Lower dantian. Roll and hands turn. Sink. Spiral. Spiral. And push. Beautiful. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to just connect up that last little piece to what the legs are doing. When you're seated, it's just forward and back. But let's just examine what's happening with the legs, because the legs are doing this opening, closing action coming all the way through the hip. So if I push out, two hands would be to the back right corner, but I'm just going to move my angle a little bit for you. Comes back, and now I'm going to turn the whole right side in, and then I'm going to put the weight onto it. And right there, you can feel how the leg rotates in, but then there's this openness that comes across the lower part of the back. It's a beautiful opening. Let's just try that again. So you sink back, and the whole leg comes around. Okay, now shift your weight and spiral the left toe around. As that happens, the hands go with the foot. They spiral together. Okay, so from this action here, you're going to come around, sink, open that up. Sorry, I was going to do whip to one side, whip out diagonal. It's going to roll up. So your hands come through. The hands come through. Transition. And I'll just, because I'm here, drop. Transition. Transition. Out. Okay, just so that you could see what they were doing. So I'm not as far away. Okay, so you were doing hands coming through lower dantian. Roll those hands out. Drop the elbows. Turn the elbows, push around. And then this is going to go back out and push. Right. Okay, so let's go from the two-hand push, which when you were back right corner, sink back. Now, the whole right side is going to come around. The hands turn and roll through. This is going to come up, roll out, sink. Place the foot. Now this time, your weight is on your right foot. You noticed I'm balanced on it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm down in it. I'm going to step my left foot. I'm just going to turn so you can see. So if my foot is to the corner here, my step is going to be quite wide. And the reason I'm doing that is because inside my left leg, I'm rotating the whole leg around and opening it up. Now, interesting is you gotta hold the right hip open. It would be easy to let it collapse in and step. But then what's gonna happen is your legs are gonna be close. And as you can see from my foot, if I drew it back, I would be in a ballet position. I wouldn't have brought it back behind. It would have caught in the front, okay? So what I wanna do is step really wide with it. And it's supported by the other leg. Okay, so I have 2 hands out, sink back, open the right side, spiral that around. Here comes that T, sink. Okay, so now I'm going to stabilize on the right leg. I'm going to have it spiraling out, and I'm going to spiral the left out to take my step. I still haven't shifted my weight. I still have my balance. Okay, so I'm going to push out of that right leg, over to the left leg, and sink into it. So now this whole leg is free and open. The joints are open. Stabilize. That's holding in that position. Step forward and push out. Okay. You're probably cursing me now because you had to stand on that leg and try to balance there. That is not an easy feat if you don't have your balance in the right spot. So this is where grounding and that whole mindfulness, centering, coming right in so you're just inside. When I go down, I am just there. I don't have to think about my balance. It is already taken care of because when I'm on this leg, I know exactly how I want to stand over top of it. And when I stand over it, my ankle is free, my knee is free, and my hip joint. If I go this way, I'm not going this way. If you notice my head's going back, I'm going this way. So my head is always right on top, and the body knows I'm right in space where I'm supposed to be. If I was to go forward and my head goes back, my body goes, oh, I'd like to bring your head back to straight, and you've lost your balance. So you want to keep that head straight, sink. And in that sink, balance is there. Okay, if I go to open, this leg here that I'm standing on is supporting me. This leg is opening. And that action changes back and forth. And that's giving you the ability to open and close, find where your center is. Okay, from carry the tiger to the mountain, I'm facing you as my front. I'm going to turn to my left. I'm going to push 2 hands out, which is the end of 17. So sink back, turn the whole left side, sink, drop, cross, over. Okay, so now we're going to carry the tiger to the mountain. I just forgot where I am here. Cross over. There we go. Sorry. Into the right. Turn the left toe. Open that hole inside. Sink. Place your right foot open to the back corner. Brush knee. Bow and arrow. So again, you're filling up all the spaces. Open. Fill up all the space. 2 hands. Just this beautiful massage back and forth. Okay, so the weight is in the left. Bring the whole right side around. Spiral on the toe. Here comes your hand under lower dantian. It rolls up to make the T. Drops. Step open. Right to the side wall. Push from the right to the left. And then step into the corner with your right foot and push. All right. That gets you whip out diagonal is the movement pattern. This piece, if you're not going up and down with those knees, have a seat in the chair and do it there. And the reason is you're just going to lose your balance and put things in the wrong place, and you have so much more value if you could figure out how to open the spaces up between all the joints. But it's hard to do that if you aren't quite in the right position, you can't quite get your feet around where you want to go, and you're not there. You're not there. So do the learning from the chair and explore there. Let everything just open up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the chair. You can stay standing if you wish, but I'll do the seated version. I'm just going to turn a little bit, okay, just so that maybe this is a better angle for people. So the end of the 17, 2 hands go out. Push into the feet, brings it up, sink. This is going to cross over and lift. Carry the tiger to the mountain, open the spine up, and this is a brush knee right. Bring the hands back, bow and arrow. Palm to palm goes forward. Open the hands. 2 hands go out. Now the hands come in. There's bringing that energy into lower dantian. Now if you go up, you can feel the space come into the vertebra. Elbow drops. There'll be a sink happen in the body. Push into the right foot, takes you to the left. Push into the left foot, brings you back into the center, and you can push down. Okay? All right, so let's try. One more time. So 2-hand push. Push into the feet. Lift that up. That's going to drop. Crossing over. Open and expand. Now this can have a little bit of a push back. And then this is going to go brush knee. Nice and expanded. Bow and arrow. Palm to palm. You may notice my hands have even gotten smaller in action. Open the hands. And when there's space, you actually don't even need to move as far. Comes through, which is amazing. Whip to one side. This is going to come out to the diagonal. Sink. Around. Around. And out. Okay. So I'm not sure if you caught what I just said, but what I said was, when you have all that space in there and everything is moving beautifully, you actually don't need to move as much. So my movement actions, instead of going brush knee, bow and arrow back, palm to palm, open the hands, 2 hands. You can see all that action. There's a lot of action. Now watch what happens when I put the space in it. So here's the brush knee. And the bow and arrow. And the palm to palm. So it looks like I'm doing half the work. But actually, the space within the joints means I don't have to go very far. This comes around, makes the T, comes around and expands. Okay, so you can see what the difference in the quality of the movement is, and all I did was change my intention. I focused on those joints. Let me put the space into the joints. Let me fill everything up with oxygen and power. And then all of a sudden, the movement was very, very full, instead of me trying to make the movement look full. Totally different. Okay, so let's do the 17 into carry tiger to the mountain and whip out diagonal. I'm going to stay seated. You're welcome to stand. I'm just going to explore just how much space you can put into the joints to do this one run. Okay. For anybody who's seated, this would be a nice opportunity for them to see. Okay, so we have commencement. And the right hand is going to come out. Push into the feet. Left grasp for its tail. My right hand is going to go down by my hip. Right hand is coming up underneath. And this is going to go fingertip to the wrist, bow and arrow come back. Palm to palm, Open the hands, and 2 hands go up. Whip comes through and reach forward. Step up to raise hands. Nice big expansion. Air goes in, sink. Lengthen the spine, lift. And then you're going to fall into the feet. Right hand goes up. So remember that space at the base of the skull? There it is. Let that go. And then you're going to do a brush knee left. Half a step. And the left is going to come out, sink. Open the hands. And then brush knee left. Twist step. Brush knee right. Comes through. Twist step. Brush knee left. Half a step is what will be happening if you're standing. So this is a sink. Nice big space. Open the hands. Brush knee left. Twist step. Hold the flowers. Deflect, parry. And punch. Wipe the sleeve. 2 hands. Here's what we just worked on today. Open. Let that drop. Crossing over. Nice big lift. Open that out. And then this is going to fall in. Brush knee right. Bow and arrow back. Palm to palm goes forward. Open the hands. 2 hands go forward. I think I got that wrong. Sorry. Carry the tiger to the mountain. Brush knee right. Bow and arrow comes back. No, I might have been right. Palm to palm. Open the hands. And then 2 hands go out. That was right. Okay. Comes back around. This is going to come up to make a T. Drop that down. Comes around. Nice big space. And then reach out. Beautiful. Sorry, that was too funny. This is life broadcasting from home, right? I've got a kitty cat scratching on one side. I've got a telephone ringing. I have things going on in the background. And what is my job? My job is to be totally centered and focused, and to be ready to, hold on to the space for everybody. Anyway, too funny. Okay. So that is a little bit about starting into what is your bioenergetic wellness plan. What is it you are doing to make sure you engage your energy every day to hold on to wellness? So we talked about space at the base of the skull, space in the foot, and getting those joints open and everything nice and relaxed. So if you want to practice that for this week, I will have more tips and tools as we go through the entire month of November. I am so excited. Next week, I know, is just before Halloween, so maybe we'll do a little bit about bones. So anyway, have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in. Please share the videos, pass them forward if you're finding them valuable, and you will find the recording. It'll be posted on the YouTube channel. Okay, take care. Have a wonderful weekend.